Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam to that.
Go ahead.
Hello, hello. Welcome, Brother Maru. And, we're really excited to have you here as part of the Muslim Entrepreneur Bonus Edition. As you know, I am Umar, your host today. And the book has been very successful, alhamdulillah. And we have here someone that can teach you really what to do to start a business, and what about mentorship and those kind of things. I have so many questions, mashallah, for this brother. And how are you?
Alhamdulillah. How about you?
Very good, alhamdulillah. So I'm calling in card here. Where are you right now?
We are based in Denmark, Northern Europe.
Yes. Okay. So I guess it's very cold there right now.
Well, not today. Today is actually sunny, but just yesterday, actually the day before, there was a storm. It was cold and it was rainy, but now it's better. Alhamdulillah.
Okay, alhamdulillah. Tell me a little bit more about yourself, your background, your country, and then how you came about in Europe. What's your story?
Yeah, okay. Well, what I like about life is you have no idea what's going to happen in the next moment.
Uh-huh.
So if you ask me like 10, 15 years ago, I will come to this land I would even have dreamed of, right? But it happened anyway. So I'm originally from Uzbekistan. Many of the who are listening to, maybe they cannot even place it on the map. But if you look at history, Islamic history especially, we used to have great scholars like Al-Khwarizmi, who were really the founders of algorithm and mathematics, algebra, or Al-Bukhari, and with
Yes.
the also of the Sahih Bukhari, even At-Tirmidhi. There used to be a lot of scholars from our country, but not anymore. So we're trying to catch up with those guys. So I'm
Okay.
originally from Uzbekistan. So I came to Denmark about 13 years ago to study
Uh,
multimedia design. Since then, after finishing study, I used to work at different couple of companies. But until 3 years
yes.
ago, we started to do on our own stuff. So that's a quick background check about me and what I
Mashallah.
do.
So you have family there as well.
Yeah, I got married eventually. So, and I have 3 kids, alhamdulillah.
Really started in entrepreneurship. What moved you to become an entrepreneur?
Yeah, well, that's a good question. You know, while I was growing up, because people become entrepreneur for many different reasons. But in my case, it
Yes.
was I used to work at different larger companies. I'm one of those people who want to always, trying to trying new things, trying to things better. But the thing is, if you work for a larger company, that may not be a
Yes.
option because large companies they tend to move slowly. They want to be play safe, and I was frustrated about it. And I was always looking for some opportunity. I didn't know what to do
Yes.
until 3 years ago. One of my co-founders and close friends who finished his studies in Sweden and who was looking for a job and came back to Denmark
Yeah.
and then decided to do something. So I think that's the one we started very seriously to do something about entrepreneurship. I think.
Oh, okay. And how was the jump? Were you afraid, or were you excited to do something new?
I mean, you are always afraid, right? When you when you want something new, but I think that the
Yeah.
real thing is you have to always look at the consequence, right? What is the alternative? For me, I knew the alternative. I was working at the office, so I was going there from 9 to 5. It was okay, but I wasn't really excited about my job. So I wanted something more, and of course, trying new thing was scary, but not trying was
Yes.
even more boring and scary. So we took the other path
Yes.
and tried something
I
new.
was just making a comment that not trying is scary because
sometimes you think, oh, if I try, then I might fail, etc. But what if you don't do it? And you know, if Allah already written success for you, imagine all the lives you could touch and you didn't do it.
Exactly, right? So what is the alternative scary moment? That was the thing. On the other
Yes,
hand, as you said, you know, when we look at the world, there are people who want to see bad things happening, like especially when you see on the media. They want to focus on the bad things. But as entrepreneurs and those who believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we believe in
I
the.
I lost I lost you for a second.
Okay. Um, what I was saying is there are different types of people. There are people who look
Yeah.
at the world and they want to look at the world as hell. As you can see on the media, they want to focus on the bad things happening. They mean like that it's a bad thing. But I mean, to be honest and sincere, the majority of humankind, they're always trying to do something good. If you look at how far we have progressed, and this is what we want to be as entrepreneurs. We wanna do good stuff. We wanna improve human lives, and we also want to, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, we want to do good stuff. We want to convey good and forbid evil. And I believe
Yes.
to do that, entrepreneurs does and should play a really, really huge role. And there's a lot of responsibility on each one of our shoulders. And that's the way to go
Uh,
instead of going to politics and other. And
Absolutely. Uh-huh. And do you believe a Muslim entrepreneur has an advantage?
I believe they do in a way. You see,
Mm-hmm.
you can ask entrepreneurs why they do what they do, and you may get different replies. Some of them they say, "Oh, we want to make money." That's fair enough.
Yes.
But if you really ask the really passionate, really successful ones, and you all they always say, it's not about the money. Of course, there is money involved, but it's not the end result. We want to do it because we really, really care about this, and we want to improve. We want to do something better. We do things we're passionate about, and that's a good thing. But in the case of Muslim entrepreneur, I mean, as Muslims, right? In a nutshell, we don't believe this is what it is to life. It's just a transition period or temporary thing. We believe in
Yes.
larger than life, right? We believe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala
Uh-huh.
is for is something test. And we believe by I mean, it doesn't even have to be entrepreneur. Anybody who's listening or who's going to listen. So anything we do, it will impact in the long term. So in that
Mm-hmm.
sense, we will have, I think, a little bit advantage of not only, I mean, if things work out, let's say, the case if things work out, that's good, right? You get maybe a financial reward. But in our case, in Islam, what really matters is the intention, niyyah, right? And if our intention is
Dissension.
sincere enough, I mean, there are two scenarios. The one scenario is your intention is sincere, inshallah, and you will succeed. So you will get success here and hereafter. If even though you don't succeed as a Muslim
Yes.
entrepreneur, we believe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is aware of what we do, and we still get reward. And I think that's the advantage of being a Muslim entrepreneur.
Oh, okay. That's very beautiful. And I believe you're quoting a hadith here that if that happens, the Muslims thank Allah.
Yeah. Maybe I can't remember the exact reference, but there must be some hadith about that.
Yeah. And if something good happens, he thanks Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's very nice. Now, what's the most important Islamic principle you use to guide your business decisions, your everyday business?
That's a really good question. I was thinking and pondering upon it for a while. Of course, as a Muslim, I mean, not only Muslim, any really a real business, they always have to run on ethical issues. And as you know, Islam is really, really aligned with ethical issues. But as a Muslim, for us, especially in our case, what we are thinking always, pondering is like I would say, sincerity.
Since
I mean, why do we do all we do? What is it? Is it for fame? Is it for money? Or is it
uh,
to seek the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Because based on this decision, you have to make a lot of decisions every single day. Because if you just here just for the financial reward, there are many things you can be unethical, right? Or
yes,
other vice versa. I mean, that is the balance. That is the check for us. The most number one thing is sincerity. Who are we being
sincere.
sincere to? What are we trying to do? I hope that
Jazakallah
answers
khair.
your
It's
question.
very nice. Now, also, yeah, we learned that from the seerah of the Prophet ﷺ that he was very trustworthy, very sincere, and in his business life, that was really what made him. Alhamdulillah. Could you tell me a little bit more about your business model, how it works? What do you do exactly?
Yeah, what do I do exactly? That's a good question. That's a hard one to answer. Uh, so right now we are involved in two projects. The one of them is we are trying to create a special platform for Muslims where they can connect with each other, no matter where they are, and unite
Hmm.
with each other, and compete with each other, doing good and inspiring each other to do good. As I said before, the current situation for Ummah is not very positive, especially what's happening around the world today. And media
Hmm.
wants to capitalize on it and focusing on showing us the bad thing. I mean, ultimately, what we're trying to do is we're trying to change the game. We don't want to play this blame and victim game. Instead, we want to inspire each other to be better. So each of us can do. So for that
Yeah.
purpose, we started like 3 years ago a social platform we are going to live called Umuland. Alhamdulillah, I think around 340,000 people who has joined, and it's a slow progress.
Masha.
But as I said, we are not here just to make a quick buck and go away. We are here in the long term. So in that sense, this is one of the
Yeah.
things we do. The other things we are doing is just recently we started is halal ad platform for Muslims by Muslims. It's called
Yes.
halal.ad. So we can help other Muslims, other especially Muslim entrepreneurs like you. So how can we get your message to millions of Muslims online in a more cheaper, affordable way?
Oh, okay. So they place an ad and it runs through Umaland or any other platform.
Yeah, you see, until recently, we've been only using the Umalan platform, but we also understood that there are a lot of other Islamic sites who are really, really huge. For example, Muslim Matters or Islamic Finder, who may have daily 500,000 visitors, but they're still using, for example, Google AdSense,
Okay.
and their traffic. I mean, one of the things issues is they are not really quite happy with the ads are not relevant. Sometimes they're not even halal. So
Okay.
what they really want, looking for alternative, and we are giving them alternative. In this way,
Yes.
we are uniting the powers, so we can actually reach, as I said, millions of people, Muslims, consumers online. So in that way, we are not only creating a halal alternative for publishers, but we're also creating an opportunity for Muslim advertisers, small to medium, to reach out to other
Yes.
people. In that sense.
Okay. Mashallah. And can you tell me how exactly you started from the beginning? How you secured funding and make your first profit?
Okay. So how we started? I mean, in case of Umaland, right? We started 3 years ago. Sometimes
Mhm.
you see, some people they wanna understand everything. They wanna be made perfect. They wait for the perfect moment. But
Yes.
if you will be honest, we have to really understand we are as humans we are not perfect. We'll never have the perfect information. Of course, you have to gather information as much as you can, but don't wait
Yes.
for the perfect moment. So for us, we were really really excited. We just started right away. And some people call us naive, some call us people crazy,
For a
but we
moment.
don't care. Okay, but what I was saying is about 3 years ago we started when we started the Umoland. Some people were kind of laughing at us. They think we are naive or crazy because, in a nutshell, we're thinking really big companies. But I said, I mean, we are not doing to prove ourselves to you or anybody else. And we see that we have an intention. We want to do it. We want to do it for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's sake. We want to do it for Ummah. So we have to do like really reach out to big goals. So we started
Yes.
like 3 years ago with two of my co-founders, and they are the programs. I'm more into design and strategy.
Hmm.
So it was not easy at the beginning. It's still not easy, but we are getting more and more accustomed to to different challenges of the company every day. But Alhamdulillah, we are much in a better place than we started. So after 3 years, we are three co-founders. We are almost making to break even, and hopefully by the later this year, we'll begin to make more profit.
MashaAllah.
The one thing I just want to mention to you is when we started, even today, we didn't get external funding. Of course, we seek some external funding, but we haven't
Yes.
found a really, I would say, the investor that matches with our vision. Because as I said, we just want to get the money from anybody else. We want to get the money from people who believe in the cause, not just here to make a quick buck, right? So it's not been easy for us. So in that sense, we are bootstrapping the whole process. That's why maybe it's taking so long for us. And as I said, that's fine. That's fine with us. And Alhamdulillah, we already see revenue coming out by the end of the year. Hopefully, we should be going into profit plus.
Okay, MashaAllah. This is very true to say that way, using your own pocket. Alhamdulillah. And hopefully, it's not too much money to start a company online.
That is the beauty, right? I mean, it depends. Let's say in our case, we were kind of lucky because we were in this sphere. I would say, as I said, I was my background in design and marketing and strategy, and my co-founders, they are programmers. So in this way, all we have to do is just somehow pay ourselves the salary, then we don't have to hire someone else. So in this sense, we were kind of lucky. So we could actually start with a minimal setup fee. We have to pay for the hosting, but it's us who designed and developed the whole platform, and we call the Muslims to come. So in that way, our startup costs very, very minimal compared to other startups who should get funds and pay for their salaries. Yeah, I mean, in that sense, you can say one of the pluses to doing an online thing is it's very easy to get in, but it's not that easy to make it work.
Yeah, and now, can you tell me about some of the biggest obstacles you had to overcome, and how did you react to them?
Go ahead.
The story, maybe.
Yes.
The story.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest obstacle for us from the beginning, as I said, of course, as I'll just explain to you, money was the biggest obstacle for us to do what we do. And at that time, so I was working at my full-time job, and we want to start this company. How do we go about it? So the way we go about it was, instead of just dropping the full-time job, because I have a family, I have responsibilities, what we did was we are just transitioning little by little.
Yeah.
So we started after our work weekends, but then it was slowly progress to transition from full-time to part-time. Now, alhamdulillah, so I don't have to work for somebody else, but we do it, I myself and some of the co-founders, we do it full-time. We still have some way to go, but as I said, by the end of the year, hopefully we all will be doing it for the full-time. So we are almost there, 2.5% there. We should be 3%, and we'll be there by the end of the year.
What's your word of advice for people that want to start an online business, or someone that requires some programming or things like that?
But business, that's a good question. Here's the thing. It doesn't have to be even online. It could be, if you want, you can be online business or offline. It's up to you.
Yeah.
But if there is someone out there who want to be entrepreneur, right? Let's say he want to do stuff. You don't even do who they're coding. I mean, each of us, we have unique set of skills.
Yeah.
For example, in your case, right now, of course, I don't know a lot about you now, but but at this point,
I lost you for a moment.
Say again, please.
I lost you for a moment. You said in your case.
Yes, in your case, what I was saying is, in your case, tell me what's your passion. What are you really passionate about?
Myself, I'm really passionate about inspiring people. I'm inspiring Muslims. As you said, there's a lot of negativity, but I don't even look at that nowadays. There's so much positive. I meet Muslim entrepreneurs every day or every other day, and I think the potential in the Ummah. Incredible.
Yes, what I'm trying to say to you, you see, you kind of, there are three things in life, right?
Yes.
I mean, it comes to work. There is job, like people go 9 to 5, they may not like it, maybe a little
Yes.
bit, but they hate it. They're just always looking for the weekend. That's the first type of people. The other type of people, they are after career, right? They're building their career. They're going to step by step to the next level. They want to advance in their career. This is the next level. It's called the career. The last one is the calling. I want to call it, you find a purpose you want to do. For example, in your case, you said you are into inspiring other Muslims, right? It's a kind of calling.
Yeah.
When you do that, you don't even feel you work. That's the beauty of it. And you will get paid, inshallah, here and hereafter as well. But what I'm saying is, each Muslim or non-Muslim, whoever, human being, they have this calling, right? If they can discover this one, you don't have to be a programmer. You don't have to be anyone else. You just have to do that. And if it requires programming, you have to go and find people who are really good at that and partner with them. Instead of imagine you are passionate about inspiring Muslims. Imagine if you were into coding, what would happen? You will be a miserable coder, right? Instead of you will not be using your talent in the right way. So you don't have to force yourself to do coding or this and that. Instead, look in your heart, look at the deep, what you really care about, what just makes you unique, and focus on that. If something you need to partner up, you have to be all willing to team up with people who are doing that. And in my case, it was one of the hard lessons I learned. I cannot do everything on my own, even though I wanted to. So the moment we partner up with my co-founders who are really good at programming, and I'm maybe good at designing, so it was a good match. So this way it just clicked. So I mean, for those people who want to start a business, just find out what's your calling, what you really want to do about your life. I mean, at the end of the life, we don't want to be average people. We don't want to be average Muslim. We want to be outstanding and significant Muslims, right? We want to stand out, not for you, not for our family, not for people, but in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. At the end of the day, we want to stand out, and so we can be proud for what they did. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be proud for what they did. And the question is, what should we do? What should you do to do that, right? And you just have to answer that call, whatever it may be. I wish there was a kind of simple formula. Just I can tell you 2 + 2 is 4, but it's not the way. It's the hard way. Each of us have to try and figure out on our own way. I hope that answers the question.
Oh, mashallah. Brothers and sisters, you just heard from Brother Maruf Yusupov. I hope I'm saying it right, but
it's
I'm
correct.
just so excited to hear this message. It's incredible. And obviously, you will learn from it about partnering in the power of the group in my book. But just working together and the power of the Jama'ah, Allah is the Jama'ah. So thank you very much. Jazakumullah khair.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure.
Yes.
Assalamu alaikum.
Okay.